name is Francesco Caracciolo. I'm a former Lieutenant Colonel of Guardia di Finanza. I joined the EPPO in May 2021, before the EPPO became operational. And since last year, I coordinate the team, which has a very bad name. It's called Cross-Cutting Projects Team. Why? Because in the operations we have some specialized teams, VAT, custom frauds, expenditure frauds and corruption. My team is dealing with the horizontal activities, so money laundering, organized crime, asset recovery, and we are developing the analysis of the EPPO. So our internal capacity to analyze the data that we have and understand what the criminals are trying to do. So this is my background. Maybe it's important to mention that before we were organized in national teams, and with my team I was covering Italy, Germany, and Austria. So that is the countries that I know better from the EPPO perspective.
So we observed in the data that, for example, Italy, the VAT gap in Italy, it's going down, and there are results on that level. You have the experience from Italy. What made, how this changed? Because we see in countries like Romania and Bulgaria, VAT gap that we know that part of it is due to frauds are up. What's your experience, and what did you learn from the investigation that you did in Italy?
Yeah. I have to mention two different moments, before the EPPO and after the EPPO. Before the EPPO, Guardia di Finanza and Italy in general had this wonderful way of detecting cases, VAT cases, and also a wonderful legislation to be effective during the investigations. So we have very intrusive powers to investigate VAT cases, but in general the financial and economic crimes. Before the EPPO, there was this logic of working in single compartments. So each unit of Guardia di Finanza, they started sometimes with administrative inspections only after they went to the criminal activities when some thresholds were reached. Now, since the EPPO is in place, is operating, there is a better coordination among the units of Guardia di Finanza, better results thanks to the cross-border activities with the other countries belonging to the EPPO, who are part of the regulation of the EPPO. So this is probably one of the most important reasons why the VAT gap is decreasing in Italy. So the capacity of detection, the more effective investigations, thanks also to the EPPO.
So talking about you're dealing with analyzing and dealing with looking at the organized crime element from on the financial crimes. What are the patterns that you are seeing now from the level of EPPO?
From the level of the EPPO is that the most important thing that we are discovering is that there are more than one organized group involved in large VAT frauds. There are groups that are dealing with the logistics, someone who is providing financial advice, legal advice, because of course we have to understand that there are some professionals behind the scenes organizing these frauds, taking advantage of the possibilities offered by the market. There are different levels of responsibilities, different groups involved, those in charge, for example, of establishing the companies, taking advantage of the national legislations, so a very important role is played by them, and they are in connection among them. So there are these criminal groups operating among them in connection. Also, there is I don't know if this is the first time that we are certifying that in some cases there are mafia-style organized group dealing with these kind of crimes. The first operation that we had at the EPPO, the Operation Mulino, was had some second generation of mafia members now residing abroad, not in Italy, who were doing. They have a new activities, criminal activities, dealing with VAT frauds. So this was a very nice operation, also because they were also involved in drug trafficking. So we cooperated also with the national authorities, with the public prosecutor, with the National Public Prosecutor Office, to arrest them both for both charges, for drug trafficking and for VAT frauds. And this means that sometimes the proceeds of crime coming from other crimes is reinvested in other criminal activities like VAT frauds. This is something very important.
You mentioned the case in Italy. What was the main findings in that? How did they defrauded the VAT?
That case was actually Italy was an assisting country. The main country was Germany again. So again, luxury cars. The typical VAT fraud that is used in Germany. They produce these wonderful cars, so they are requested by the market again. So the importance of the request from the market, and they were bought in Italy, transferred to Italy with the classical carousel scheme. Also, there were some connection in another country, in Bulgaria, where some other countries were based. So again, part of the VAT carousel fraud.
And the main purpose was to
pay less VAT and produce a lower price on the market, because the cars were sold on a very competitive price, given that they didn't pay the VAT.
Were these like luxury cars or?
Yes, mainly they were luxury cars, but in some cases they also had some, let's say, normal cars. But first of all, the higher VAT damage was produced by these luxury cars. So talking about cars of a value over 100,000 euros, so it was the VAT fraud was higher on this kind of cars.
And the total damage of that case?
In this investigation, I think it was 16 million euro, but I think the statistics are in the report 2022, but we have many of these, let's say, small cases, but together, first of all, we are stopping the criminals, and second, there are several cases with these amounts that we are allowing us to recover the proceeds of crime.
And getting back to this case, how did they defrauded the VAT? Did you detect how they laundered this profit? How did it be invested?
Part of the money were used to again. First of all, it was already a money laundering activity, because they were laundering through this legal first phase legal activities, so selling cars. But then they generated new assets, new profits from the VAT fraud, and this part was used to refinance new operations or to buy other cars, to buy other real estates. In that situation, we seized more than 80 luxury cars, some jewelries, watches, and some also real estates in that situation.
And in this case, did you find also, did they stash cash?
Yes, they had some cash, but quite limited. And given that it was conducted in parallel with the drug trafficking activity with the national prosecutor, we also managed to seize 7 kilo of I don't remember what substance in what drug in that situation. And also, these people were linked to very famous Ndrangheta family, and the activity was performed in one of the main city, actually small town linked to Ndrangheta, which was very, very difficult to perform. But again, the advantages of the EPPO, we were in the same room, the same control room, sharing information in real time, addressing the police officers who were operating in 3 different countries. So again, this is the huge advantage of the EPPO.
Just to get it right, so first they were producing money from drugs,
Yep.
then
Exactly.
cars, then launder the profit.
Exactly. In parallel, they were also they liked actually luxury cars, so they opened this activity, and they understood that they had the chance also to make some more money performing VAT frauds. But again, in the different cases, we detected several ways, as Nelson said before, of launder the proceeds of crime. There are many ways doing this.
Is any new trend that you can see in the past years? I mean, the past 2 years from the EPPO level related to the VAT frauds?
New trends in VAT frauds, again, as it was already said, it's the criminals are following the market. What is the procedure? What is requested by the market, and generally when there is it's more profitable products. So telephones, accessories to telephones, luxury cars. These are the main fields that have been detected so far in the VAT frauds.
I would like. I heard that you used a special technique in one of the cases to detect where the perpetrator stashed their money. That you have a specialized dog.
Yes. Guardia di Finanza in Italy has these cash dogs. They are trained. The way they train these dogs is the same as for detecting drugs. They sniff the smell of money, the banknotes generally, and they are able to detect them when they are eaten. There are several cases coming from the past, but the most famous one, which has been published by the PPO, the money were hidden under the floor in the premises of this company, and the dogs were able to detect the smell of the money, and after removing the pavement, the money were found under the pavement.
How much?
I'm unprepared to this, but it's. I think it was around 3 million euro in cash.
Oh wow!
But yes, we are talking about 3 million euro.
And that was also from VAT fraud, or?
No, that was only main. It was a VAT fraud, pure VAT fraud.
And what was the mechanism of that fraud?
In that fraud, they were selling again with a carousel fraud some electronics devices.
Okay.
Yes, it was in that field.
And it was still connected to the mafia, or?
No, this was something else. This was something else, but we had some cases, some other cases still ongoing, where there are some connection with the Italian style organized crime.
Cool. If
you didn't touch the topic that for me is also important to address to the public, which is the asset recovery. Asset recovery is very, very important. Again, I can go through some examples. We had it's a contraband case, because this is still a little bit debated if there is the contents or not of the PPO in some cases of tobacco. We are talking about contraband of cigarettes,
which is definitely organized crime.
Is organized crime, of course, and there are always the same people. There was a colleague who joined the PPO coming from Europol. He's our colleague here at the PPO. He has a background in tobacco offenses, so contraband of cigarettes. When we started analyzing the data coming from this case, we involved him, given this background, and he said, "Oh no, always the same people." So why I'm citing this episode? Because if you do not take away the richness accumulated by the criminals, it's just a circle. They will reorganize, they will start, we arrest them, we seize something, but if we do not get back the money, the resources, they will simply reorganize and start in something else. So this is what we are doing. This is another added value of the PPO. Last year, it's in the annual report, we had almost 360 million euro of freezing granted by the prosecutors, by the judges, at national level. So this is our main goal. We have to take the money back and have this money again available for the community, for the EU taxpayers. So this is very important for us. It's our, I don't want to say main, but it's probably one of the most important goals that we have here at the PPO.
That's the important job, truly. One more thing that I did not address. Do you see still an increase of use of cryptocurrency in the scheme, in laundering,
in general terms, I can tell you yes. Okay. We are yes, we are detecting some cases where cryptocurrencies are involved and used for money laundering purposes. Also for the payments, so it's a common, I won't say common, but there are some cases where cryptocurrencies are involved, and we are some specialists here at the EPPO that are dealing with that.